Hello, everyone. Welcome to Online Seller UK podcast. This afternoon, I have got Rael with me, and Rael will be talking at AmafestUK. And this talk is all going to about what's the talk is about, and then give us a real sense of feeling. So, yeah, pass it on to Rael. So, why don't you introduce yourself, who you are, and what you do, and let's take it from there.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having me, Prabhat. So, my name is Rael, and I am co-founder of a company called Media Gamma, and we've created a product called Nozzle, which is effectively focused on sellers and vendors on Amazon, so helping them win on Amazon. Our product focuses actually around combining both the advertising with the retail data sets. And how to best leverage, let's say, advertising data sets for retail use cases and retail data for advertising use cases. So really a unified proposition across all the data sets on Amazon.
Excellent. So, with your talk with Amazon vendor panel discussion we have, and with you, we've got David Hindle and we've got Chris as well. So,
Yeah.
So what's your talk going to be within your area of advertising?
Yeah, so given the focus area is on the advertising, I would like to focus on a few use cases of how to go through the retail data sets via Vendor Central, so ARA or ARA Premium, how to quickly focus on what's relevant to help you with your PPC campaigns or even programmatic DSP campaigns if people are interested in that. And so, I mean, I don't want to give too much away up front, but just perhaps a little hook is understanding how to interpret the repeat purchase behavior, right? And so, for instance, if you have a particular ASIN and you understand that there's a very high repurchase rate, 60, 70% or something like that, that actually changes quite a lot on how you want to think about customer acquisition via, let's say, a PPC campaign, what you're prepared to bid, what your customer acquisition cost is, or your ASIN lifetime value is. And so these are quite important foundational concepts where if you join the dots between the retail and the advertising side, can actually fundamentally change what you think a reasonable ACoS will be. And so I'll just walk through a few examples of that, and I can throw out some numbers, etc., and actually give a real case study on how transformative this way of thinking can be.
Okay, that's interesting. So with vendors, so obviously there is a lot of investment from the vendor side onto the account with the initial cost outlay of market development, what they call. Absolutely. And there is also other cost involved within selling on vendor. Now, with this advertising cost in place, there is additional pressure on vendor to get something out of the platform. So typically, do you think, or let's put it this way, so what sort of percentage of the product that a vendor you think should consider start putting it? That's one question. And should we start advertising from the day one, or should we wait a couple of months for the product to embed into the system?
Yeah, that's a good question, and it's quite hard to put in, I guess, general rules about these things. I mean, it really depends on what the average order price is or the average selling prices of the product. If you're launching, there's a balance between, I guess, if Amazon hasn't seen the product before, how long it takes for them to, build up credibility or relevance. I mean, probably if anything, if you're talking about an actual launch, I've seen more of an emphasis last year on trying to get traffic to your Amazon listing from Facebook or Google or something like that. And I've seen some budgets shift away from just right in the beginning, putting everything on Amazon towards those other channels, and that working quite well, which I think is a good strategy. And actually, Amazon came out with a really helpful tool in this regard, Q4 last year, which is essentially a traffic attribution tool. Okay. So this is some code you would put on your Facebook or your email campaign, whatever it may be, and when it drives traffic to your Amazon listing, it will actually show that this emanated from your Facebook campaign or whatever it may be. And so that's super interesting, because now you can actually track the efficacy of these things, right? And so before you would just be putting money into these off Amazon sort of channels and not really understanding much. Having this now just is again a foundational building block to building out that strategy. So I know that that's kind of a long answer to your question there, but
Yeah.
I have seen success last year in moving towards that. How soon you want to, I guess, switch that back or rebalance the budget back into Amazon PPC? Again, that's very sort of metric driven and sort of margin driven as well, and it's hard to have a general comment on that. But if
Yeah.
there's a specific use case there, I'm more than happy to address that at the talk.
Yeah, I think it's more or less you have to check each account separately and then analyze really. I think you've given us very good insights to what's your talk going to be. Yeah, we don't want to give too much, like you said. So thanks very much for that. And for everyone, come and see us at AmafestUK. Rael will be with us, all day. Speak about your Amazon advertising, what you're doing now. Yeah, it will be really, really good for you to just turn up and then attend the full day. Yeah, so if you are looking for the conference detail, it's on AmafestUK.com, and it's on the 13th of March at UK Fast in Manchester. So I hope I'll see you soon. And thank you very much for your time, Rael. All the best.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.